Hello there, and welcome back to another episode of City Sim Builds. And in the last episode, we really saved Rivertown from the brink of destruction. We had low land values, we had abandonments. I don't really know what happened in terms of what was going on. I think a save file of mine maybe got corrupted or something. I don't really understand, but I was missing fire stations and I was missing police stations and just a whole bunch of things. I don't understand what happened, but it seems that everything is okay now. We're starting to get back the town that we had before. Things seem to be filling in quite nicely, which is good. And so for today's episode, I really want to take a look and focus on our residential demand. And we are just bleeding money right now. So we really need to take a look at that and balance our budget as well. But before we get into today's episode, if you could hit the subscribe button, that would be really, really helpful to me. Also, leave a comment down below on what your favorite part of the build is so far, or leave a comment down below where you want to see me build next. And also don't forget to hit the like button, that'll also help me out. Okay, so in just the short amount of time that I was speaking, our budget has drastically changed from about -$6,000 to $7,000 to positive $6,000. And I guess maybe that has to do with some of the improvements we made last time over here at the oil industry. And we really need a name for this. Right now, it's Briarwood Oil Products. I don't actually hate that. I think that's okay. Maybe we'll change this to Briarwood Oil Company. And if you have a suggestion for what this should be, please leave that down in the comments below, because I'm open to changing any of these names. Rivertown is not by any means an imaginative name, so if you've got a different name, like, I don't know, just something kind of PC, keep it clean. So if you have any comments like that or any feedback, please let me know. So our trumpet interchange looks to be doing well, and Rivertown seems to be doing well. So one of the things I wanted to double check was the schools. Yeah, I am very confused on this because I'm pretty sure we put schools in when we first, laid the grounds for Rivertown. So I'm going to go in and place a couple schools, and then I'll be back in a moment. Yeah, and our high school that we had here is gone. I don't know what happened there. Maybe that was a mod issue. And let me make sure real quick, collision's off. Okay, good. That is so bizarre. I really don't know what happened there. Yeah, the only thing I can think of is that there was a mod issue and it just happened to get rid of all the schools. I don't know. So let's go in and make sure we have good coverage in education. So we're good in high schools. We do need our elementary schools. We have good coverage there. We'll place one over here on the outskirts of town. And we'll need one up here in the mountain town. And again, we need a name for Mountain Town. It can't just be called Mountain Town. It's got to be called something else, right? Mountain Town is kind of boring. I don't know. Maybe we'll call it Pinewood for right now. Yeah, Pinewood. There we go. So Pinewood seems to be looking pretty good. We have a couple of abandonments, but that's not a huge deal. I might just leave them and see if they come back. We still have some death care issues, but let's take a look and make sure. I thought I had placed a crematorium here. Actually, we placed two of them. So I'm not sure what the situation is there, but hopefully that will resolve itself. But let's go back down and take a look at Rivertown and make sure we got our educational system covered. So we have good coverage on elementary. Do we have a public library? No, we don't, because I believe we placed one about here. Oh, no, we do. Okay, interesting. That stayed. Okay, so I don't know why that that was the case. Yeah, very bizarre. Very bizarre. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I want to place a university. Maybe I will. Yeah, let's do it. And I think later on I might build like a more robust university campus, but just to help the education pipeline go further, I'm going to have this in place. So yeah, our budget now seems to be much more realistic. Like before, we had such a huge surplus thanks to, or not really thanks to, the mistake I made in allowing mods to be in place that weren't supposed to be, like unlocking the unlimited amount of money and milestones and whatnot. So yeah, not the best situation, but what I want to do is focus in on building another small town right here. And one of the reasons I want to do that is because we have this Park Clo interchange, and we have our oil industry, and so this is going to need workers, right? So part of that is, in doing that, is building a new town, and we have such high residential demand. So let's go through and place some of our gravel roads. And I'm going to turn on contours here so we can get an idea of what the landscape is like. Okay, looks pretty good. So I'm going to go in and just start laying out some rough roads that follow the contours here a little bit and aren't too drastic. And maybe what I'll do is just extend this road out a little further, and I think that way we can have a nice connection to the backside of the mountain over here that parallels the highway. And then we'll build off that as time goes along. And this is looking like a nice spot for another town. So maybe we'll come back and revisit that. So maybe we'll try and slope this up this way. And yeah, this also looks like a good spot too. It's nice and flat through here. So I might extend a straight section through here, and I am realizing, oh, that is not correct. And once again, I keep getting confused with collision. I'm still pretty new with how to use collision. So bear with me as I get used to that. So let's go through and upgrade these again so we can get rid of all these trees that keep popping up in the middle. Okay, that is looking much better. Okay, so we have a good spot here for a town, and I want to be respectful of some of the features we have, like this giant boulder. So what we might do is place a roundabout, I'm thinking, around that. So let's consider that. So looking at our topography, before we do that, we're about to run out of money. So let's take a look at our budget and make sure we're doing all the things we can do to maximize our expenditures. So right now, what is costing us a lot of money? Our police coverage. I think we can dial that back 50%. Let's see if that helps. And then also our medical coverage. We can probably take that back a little bit too. And then let's take a look at our water. So right now our water availability is pretty good. So I'm gonna also take that back a little bit. Let's bring back the budget panel, which I click on all the time, but not when I need to actually click on it. So we'll dial that back to about 75%, or I guess 85%. And let's take a look at what that does to our water availability. Okay, I think that's pretty good. I can actually probably bring this back a little further to about 70. So electrical is good. Water, we need to bump it back up. Not a little bit too far. So let's see if that will help normalize our budget a little bit. And we are in the red. Ooh, not good, not good. So I'm gonna speed things up and see if things normalize here. Okay, things are back to where we can start planning some of our roads. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started on that. So like I mentioned before, I want to place a roundabout around this rock. So I want to be careful about how that's done. So let's bring a road up here, and this is probably going to be well, it's not that bad of a grade actually. So that's good. So let's go in and maybe just build a simple box around here first. like that. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see if I can turn on anarchy and see if I can get a nice clean circle around this. Make sure we're snapping to the correct nodes. Oh, and we don't have enough money. So we're back in the red again. Okay. All right, we'll see if this normalizes and we'll come back and finish off the roundabout. I think in the meantime, I'm gonna try and find some pockets here where I can increase the residential density just so I can have a little bit of this residential demand taken care of. And I'm gonna focus in here near the core, like the downtown area. So we're gonna de-zone some of these areas and put in higher residential and see if that will help things out. And I made a mistake. So let's go in and fix that roughly. Then now we'll go in and add our residential. And this should fill in nicely. At least I'm hoping it will. And help us out with some of our tax revenue. We'll watch this grow in and then we'll go back and continue on with our town. All right, that's looking like it's going pretty well. We're definitely getting some high buildings here, which I don't know if I'm too thrilled on, and I don't know if some of my themes are working correctly or not. This looks legit. This looks legit, actually. Some of these high-rise buildings are too high for my liking, but we'll leave it like that. I'll come back and revisit the themes for the city later on. So let's come back over here and we'll finish our roundabout. All right, so we have the roundabout in place. So we'll get rid of all these extra nodes, or excuse me, extra segments. And then what I want to do is go ahead and start placing some of the grid that we're going to have here. And we don't have any money. Okay, I'm going to let this normalize for real, and we'll come back and we're going to reject, actually, yeah, we're going to reject this for right now. And then we'll come back and see if we can get things moving a little bit better. All right, our budget keeps fluctuating around and I'm not really sure why, but I'm going to pause the game for a moment. I don't know. Maybe I won't. I'll let it go slowly here. And anyway, let's go and start placing some of our street network here that we're planning on using. So get our straight roads here, and we're gonna come off at a 90. And actually, let me redo that. So coming in, let's line up here. So I want to come off here for sure. And I want to come off this way for sure. And this one. Okay, perfect. And then I'm gonna come up here and create a square grid. And come down here and also make this a grid. Okay, great. So I'm gonna come in and not make a connection here and have this be like that. And I'm gonna repeat that pattern all the way around. And then what I want to focus on is having a commercial activity on the outside of this roundabout. And this is not going to be like a typical roundabout in terms of mobility. This is going to be one for, I mean, it's going to have a functionality component to it, but it's also going to serve as a place for commercial. So all these nodes here, I want to place commercial. And I'm actually going to go ahead and do that first, even though we don't really have any, or actually we have no commercial demand right now. But I'm going to go use the filler tool and go around and place that, because I'm really going to, after this, put a wide swath of residential here. And before things fill in, which I don't think they will, but I want to create path connections from these roads on the grid to the where the roundabout is. So, but I think I can go ahead and place these where I want them. So we'll do 2 units deep on that side and come up and go like that. And then leave some space here just in case we need that for later on. Do the same thing on this side and like that. And then we'll come through and let's just go and zone a residential there. And then like so. Like so. And then I'll go around and fill the outside edge of town. Okay, so we're gonna have to extend utilities over here as this grows. So let's go over here and take our water pipe and I'll connect it over there. And I'm gonna take our snap twos off to make this a little bit easier for me. All right, and that's looking good for our water. And I'm gonna run one of these rural power lines to this area. And I think that's gonna also help us out with our power situation. So for the time being, I'll make a connection that comes down like this, cuts across, and then, and I think here I'm gonna tie this up around and connect here, okay? And hopefully that will give us the needed power for our new city. Or town, I should say. All right, I'm gonna speed this up and let things fill in. Oh, and I realized I don't want any, I'm sorry folks, I don't want any residential inside the roundabout. So I'm gonna dezone that, and sorry for all the displacement, but that's just how it goes, I guess, sometimes when you're not thinking about it, which I was not doing. Need to be better about that, but that's okay. It's a game, right? Okay, looking much better. And we'll let this grow and see how things progress. Okay, that is looking pretty good to me. We need to add in a few city services, so I'm going to add in an elementary school before things get too out of hand in terms of what's needed here. We definitely need a fire station, so let's place that right here in the middle. And we are out of money, but we will need a police station here soon. We'll let this run, and let's think about how we want this community to grow. I don't really want it to be that large. I kind of envision this as like a workers' community. We might extend it a little further this way and this way. And I thought about having a mountain or hillside road that would connect over to here. And I might go ahead and do that. That way we have just an alternative route instead of folks having to use this this highway that we created and already contribute to the traffic on there. So I think what I might do is utilize this connection and create a meandering mountain road that goes up like this, gets us on the ridge, which would be interesting for the future, and then tie it back down over there. So let's see if we can get that going while the rest of the town fills in. So looking at our terrains, we do have some challenges here. Yeah, we've got lots of challenges. So we're gonna have to really curve this over and then start making our approach up the mountain. So let's get our freeform road tool, and then we'll go out just a little bit, and then get to where we can get a nice 90. And we're out of money. The budget fluctuations have been unreal in this. It's kind of bananas to me. But anyway, I want to get up to this contour line first, and then get up to this one. So I'm gonna try and grade, and of course open the budget panel. And yeah, so I'm gonna try and grade a little spot here for this. So we'll find this and just make a little pad there. And I think we should be good there. And I'm not sure if this is actually going to be far enough along for the grades that we're looking at. So I might actually skip that and bring it out a little further. Something about right there. And then kind of the same thing over here. Okay. That'll give us something to grade towards. So we'll see if I have enough money to do this, but come up like so. That looks pretty good. Yeah. Nice gradual roadway connection. And see if we can do the same thing here. Oh, and I am completely not doing what I really intended to do. So, okay, looks pretty good. Yeah. All right, let's get the road in place, and then we'll check grades. And I'm going to use Curve Road Tool just to get some nice kind of more meandery, but not as intense of a meander through here. Just to really not be a straight line, but also to be, I don't know, just a little bit more aesthetically pleasing, maybe. A little bit more of a fun drive if you were to drive on something like this. So let's get that back. So we'll come through, make that connection, something like that. We'll head off this way a little bit and then bring it back up. Okay, let's check our grades. I'm very interested to see what this is gonna be like. But before that, wow, it's looking pretty good. And of course, I keep messing up with anarchy and tree collision and whatnot. So I have prop anarchy off. I have, I don't know what's happening. This is really being irksome to me. I'm gonna go and look at my mods real quick, and then I'll be right back and see if I can have a remedy for this. Okay, I am not sure what's going on with that. It's still popping up with zoning. I'm gonna have to take a look at that later and see if I can fix that globally. But in the meantime, let's go and take a look at our roadway grade and make sure that's okay. So go into our network multi-tool. We're gonna grab this node and go all the way to the top up here. Maybe. So maybe what we'll do is grab the next node and see if it likes that instead. So we got that. Okay, went green. Come up here. Did not like that one. We'll do that one. Okay, we got not the best slopes. See what that does. 10. You know what? I'm okay with that because this is earlier in the previous episode when I was talking about highway grades, for this section and how it needed to really be 8% or less. When you get into these sorts of scenarios where you might be expected to have like a 4-wheel drive vehicle, what you're getting into, that sort of scenario, I'm okay with it being 10 for that. So I'm going to leave it like that for now. So let's go ahead and finish off the road down here and connect it back to our main connection here at Rivertown. So we would have a 4-way intersection. And I am not liking the way this is looking at right now. So I'm going to grade up here and then go from there. Okay. So now we're going to have a tighter turn. So actually what I'm thinking is I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to create a ridge road up here like so, and then we'll have a nice T connection into that. And I think that should be good enough to get us down there. At least I'm hoping it will be. If not, we'll have to do some switchbacking. Actually, before I do that, let me go ahead and tee into this. So we'll come over here, create a straight road segment off, and then back this up a smidge, and then we'll create a connection like that. Okay, perfect. So let's take a look at the change that we have to do here. I think this is actually going to require switchback. So I'm going to come down like this to about here, then come down, and then come back down over like that. So we have our landing pads. I'm going to go and grab this elevation up here. And we're going to sweep this. Oh, nope. Incorrect. Nope. We're going to come over here and start sloping up this way. So something like that. Oh, and I messed it up a little bit. Let's go back. Zoom out. So then we have another spot over here. We'll do like grab that, and then we'll come up. Okay, that's looking good. Then we have one more location to do, so we'll do that. That is looking kind of decent. We're going to fix things up though a little bit with that. So let's come over here and we'll finish off our roadway segment. Let's take a look at our town actually real quick. We do need some garbage facilities. Maybe what we can do is place along this road a landfill. I think that'll be fine. Let's make sure we didn't sever our power lines. And I apparently did anarchy, so we'll just get rid of that and then add this one back in. Okay, that looks looking pretty good. And everybody is upset. You can have power in a second. Goodness gracious, calm down. Okay, back to this mountain road. And these I think are going to require kind of a hairpin turn, but that's often what you see, so I think that'll be just fine. And that slope is, I think, looking okay. All right, that's looking pretty good. Okay, cool. All right, let's check the grades on these, make sure they seem reasonable. So we'll start here. We'll do up to here. Okay, looks good. So we'll start here, go up to maybe here. 2.9, 4.7. Yeah, it looks good. All right, we'll grab that last node and bring it all the way. Can we go up to the top? Yep, 3.5, 5.5. Yeah, that looks really good. Okay. So we got some issues there, but we're gonna go and terraform, make this look a little bit better. And of course, we have to hit the budget panel. We have to hit it every single time. So we're gonna increase our brush size, and then we're just gonna terraform. Oh, way too much apparently, because I select the wrong thing all the time. So yeah. But yeah, this is looking much better. This looks way more realistic. And we already have a car up here. Check it out. Let's pause. Let's take a look and see what this car's doing. So where is it? It's coming from. So the owner is the police station. Okay. And it's going to the Anchor residence. Dun, 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 dun. What's happening at the Anchor residence? We don't know. But I guess that police car is going to find out. But yeah, so we'll just go through and soften this up and make it just kind of feel better. It'll make me feel better. So same thing on this side. And I see why they're coming over here, because there is no police station. Because remember, we forgot to add one. And we do now have the funds for that. So I am going to add a small police station here. And I really don't want to, I'm going to put it here. I didn't want to take away a house, even though our trees are just popping through the houses right and left and the roads. So I really need to figure out which mod is causing me this issue, or maybe I'm just doing something wrong. If you see that I'm doing something wrong, there's just blatant user error, please let me know. I really want to make this feel and look better, and just get better at how things are being presented and whatnot. So yeah. All right, I think things are looking pretty good here. I might extend out our residential network a little bit, and just so we can get like a little bit more residential capacity. So I'm gonna do this and bring it out like that. And then maybe what we'll have is a road that deviates from the pattern here a little bit and meanders back down to our what will become more like a 2-lane highway is what I'm envisioning that to be. So I'm going to come down here and create a little stub, and that's going to be our point to where we're going to connect to. All right, so let's grab our curve road tool, and we'll come here, do something like that, and then let's see. I wonder if we can. Oh, that was not what I intended. Let's try that again. So we'll do something like this, bring it about here, and then curve around like that. I think that'll be good. And then maybe what we can do just to have some deviation in our grid is create like a little pathway that does like that. I think that looks pretty nice. And I've got to really figure out this collision thing. I am really struggling with it, but that's okay. But people watching this right now are probably already like, what is he doing? Like, why is he continually struggling with the collision? But it is what it is. It is what it is. I'll figure it out eventually. Okay, so we have some grade issues with that, but I think that'll be fine. Kind of like that. So we'll come over here and add a few more blocks to our grid as well. And this is a especially good area to continue the grid because it's nice and flat. But I think what I'm going to do here is start to curve things around a little bit, and we might just have like one more section of grid that comes down to about here. Because really the terrain is starting to change a little bit here. But yeah, so let's get that taken care of. So we'll do something like that. Bring this off a little bit, and then we'll tie this up with a nice curve. Something like that. And then maybe what we can do is add another roadway connection down here so that we're not creating just, a giant, we haven't created just an island amongst itself, a cul-de-sac or something like that. But I think it still would be nice to have something that down here for additional connectivity. So let's add that in. Went a little bit too far there. That looks good. And let's fill this in with residential. And maybe we'll have a little pocket of commercial right there. Something like that. Okay, and before things get too out of hand, I might place a couple dog parks, or maybe we'll do a dog park, and over here we'll do a large playground. Yeah, that'll be good. It's nice to be able to walk to a park from your house. It is just I think it's something I just wish everybody had a chance to do that. That'd be really nice. All right, I think that is looking pretty good. We have added quite actually a much more substantial little town than I was originally intending for. But before we complete today's episode, I want to run water pipes under the roads because folks need water. Okay, and I think that has us mostly covered. Yep, I think we have one spot here, and we'll just take this up like that. Perfect. All right, this looks like a very prehistoric dinosaur type rock or something. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. But yeah, in the next episode, I want to look at this a little bit further, add our pedestrian paths, maybe add a park. Maybe we can do like a much more substantial park. That'd be pretty cool. Like maybe like up in here on the mountain. But yeah, if you have any thoughts or comments, please leave a comment down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. That'll really help me out. But I'm looking forward to seeing you all back at the next episode. Until then, take care and have a good one.